What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon for 66 Cards, and today we're going to talk about what a bunch of the hobby social media personalities are talking about. And that's Jeff Wilson's video regarding flipping and chasing hits versus collecting, and the reaction to it from all sorts of content creators, including friends of the channel Neo and Dustin. In all the videos that I've watched, everyone seems to ignore the biggest difference between collecting in the 80s and 90s versus the hobby today. And so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, if we go back to the 80s and 90s, you would get cards by buying packs or boxes for a relatively cheap price compared to the hobby today. And you'd trade cards with your friends or see what deal you could make with the LCS in your area. The dollar amounts were much smaller, so while investing and prospecting existed, it was a smaller component of the hobby compared to now because the value upside potential was so much lower back then, and there was a larger focus on collecting as compared to now. Whether it was an entire set or your favorite player, you collected what was available to you from the wax that you bought, trading with your friends, or whatever your LCS had. And here is my version of that from the 90s. This is an actual binder from the 90s, and I had a card binder collection. Shout out to Dustin. First, we have my attempt at completing a set of 1992 Pro Set Hockey, because these were the packs that my dad would buy for me from West Edmonton Mall, because I grew up in Edmonton, on his way home from work in the 90s. Another set I collected was 90s Upper Deck because my parents bought me a box of this 90s set. These two sets were the main sets that I focused on collecting. But that's not all. As you may know, I have a childhood collection of Mario Lemieux cards in my PC. This Leaf Limited Lemieux card looks amazing. I just wanted to pause and admire this card, and we'll now continue. These were cards that I traded for with my friends, or I got from the various packs and boxes that my parents bought for me, or I bought for myself in terms of an allowance, right? This is how I got all of these Lemieux cards in my PC. But that was then, and today is much different. Today, the Lemieux cards I collect for my PC are very specific. You can see here I collect rare and high-grade Lemieux cards, usually from his playing career days. So you can see here, this Topps Chrome Black Refractor is out of 50. This Star Rubies is not from his playing career, it's from 2013, but this is also numbered out of 50, and I wanted it because it's a Star Rubies, which they didn't make one for hockey back then. This retro 2004 Upper Deck glossy silver Young Guns of Lemieux is out of 10. And this Hot Numbers PSA 10 is obviously a PSA 10, and so it is quite rare in this grade, if I remember correctly. And then I just think that this Select Gold looks really awesome. So that is what is in my Lemieux collection today. But that's not all. I have other cards in my Lemieux collection. I collect very specific Mario Lemieux cards. And if you're wondering what is so specific about these cards, well, they're all serial numbered out of 66. This patch auto here is 6 out of 6. This PMG is actually, if you can see there, I don't know if you can see it, it says 66. This signed Lemieux card from 1996 is, you can see here, serial numbered 66. So is this one. All of these are. This is my little niche collection, which I just love a lot. And, there's other things that I'm doing with my Lemieux collection. I want to make it unique to me, so I do things like this, collecting the 6.5 grade rainbow. I have a PSA version. It's in the I believe, my Fanatics Collect vault. But yeah, you can see here, KSA 6.5, SGC 6.5, Beckett 6.5, and then the Lemieux box bottoms hand cut card, which is a grade of 6. These are the things that I'm doing, right? 6.5 grades, 6 grades, serial numbered 66 cards. I'm creating a collection, a PC that is unique to me. And that's also what I'm doing with this collection. Joel Embiid is my favorite NBA player, and I am building out his Rainbow from 2020 1-in-1 basketball, which is a higher end set from Panini. So the only card I'm missing, you can see here, I have the 1-of-1, I have the card out of 5, I have it out of 15, I have it out of 25, and I have one out of 30. And I also have the base card out of 99. It is not with me at this moment, but I do own one. It's just in a vault somewhere. So if you know someone who has a gold out of 10 version of this card, let me know. Hit me up. Slide into my DMs on Instagram at Simon466cards. So clearly I still collect, right? I just don't collect sets at all anymore. And why is that? Well, it's related to the big difference I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the difference between collecting in the 80s and 90s versus collecting in the present day. And it's this big difference that nobody seems to acknowledge. And that's how technology has changed the way we can collect. It has made it a lot easier. Collecting basic sets is too easy today because it's like we have eBay. Like we have all of these tools, and collecting is usually about the challenge and the chase. So today I could go on eBay, or I could go on to a website like ComC, which is organized very well and is very easy to find cards, or even a place like Beckett Marketplace, where I can buy an entire set of singles in 5 minutes. Like I could literally just go to Beckett Marketplace, and you can see here I selected 2015 Panini Prism Basketball. I could just click 300 buttons and be done with it in like 5-10 minutes, and I would have created and collected the whole set. What's the fun in that, right? And that's why collecting and that chase has morphed into more challenging things to find, like rainbows, low serial numbers like golds and 1-of-1s, patch autos, and yes, even SSPs and case hits, as Jeff was alluding to in his video. And even collecting sets isn't just collecting sets anymore. We've changed that too, because now you have the PSA set registry. Now you rank your sets and their grades against other people in the PSA set registry, right? I think this is actually a genius move by PSA, because people in the hobby want to collect, but they also want to be the best, right? You want to get the highest grade, you want to get the lowest serial number, you want to get that 101. And so to turn that competitive fire in collectors and turn it into an actual competition with the set registry is a brilliant idea by PSA way back in the day. And going back to those rare cards, you know, the serial number cards, patch autos, case hits, SSPs, if those cards had existed in the 90s, it would have been impossible to collect them, because you would have never been able to find them without the internet back then, right? Back in the 80s, the internet didn't exist. In the 90s, it was in its infancy, certainly nowhere near the technology and tools that exist today. But today, however, technology has made it too easy to collect in the traditional sense. The technology is too good. And so there is no challenge and there is no chase in that. So most collectors are finding new challenges and new chases for their collecting journey. And I am doing that with one of my collections and sets that I was trying to collect from the 90s. As we talked about, this 92 Pro set. They have a special sentimental value to me because of the connection to my dad and my childhood. I could easily go to ComC or Beckett Marketplace, or I'm sure there's other places out there, and finish off the set in like 2 to 5 minutes by clicking on a few buttons and buy the missing cards. But again, what is the fun? What is the chase in that? That's not very exciting. So I'm creating a challenge for myself to finish off the set by buying another box to get hopefully all of the missing commons, so that I can get that hit of nostalgia and that chase element from my childhood. And that is the big difference between the 90s and the 80s and today. Collecting isn't dead, it's just that collecting has evolved, because with technology today, it's just too easy to collect the way we used to collect in the 80s and 90s, and there's no fun or challenge in that. Doing things like creating challenges for yourself, whether it is collecting case hits, 1-of-1s, patch autos, serial numbered, rainbows, whatever it is, that is the new way to collect today because there is a challenge in it, or high grade as well, right? There is no longer just we're gonna collect base cards. I'm not saying that like nobody does that, but I would say a very, very small fraction of people do that. Whereas for most people, collecting those type of cards is just too easy and there is no actual challenge in it. So those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of my video today. I had also created a previous video about set collecting and what happened to it, which is part of the rationale that I explained here today, but also I give other reasons as to why set collecting is no longer as popular as it once was. So I will link to that in the description below. Check it out if you have some time. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.